What's up, Rich Squad? Guys, welcome back to the channel. Aren't you entertained? Aren't you entertained by the 2018 FIFA World Cup? I'm back to give you some more Group A action. And as you should know, Group A has a host Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Uruguay. I've already brought you the Russia versus Egypt preview. I predicted Russia to defeat Egypt 2-1, and they defeated them 3-1. What a match that was. I'll get to it soon. But in this video, I'd like to shed some light on the Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia fixture. Since this is the second round of matches in Group A, let's recap what happened in the first set of matches. Up until the point of making this video, we have already seen 3 matches in Group A. The first was the opening match of the 2018 World Cup between Russia and Saudi Arabia. Russia defeated Saudi Arabia 5-0, courtesy of a Denis Cheryshev brace, Artem Zhuba goal, Golovin and Gazinski. Then in the other fixture, Egypt lost 0-1 to Uruguay, courtesy of a Jose Maria Jimenez header late in the match. Then today, Russia versus Egypt. Russia spanked Egypt 3-1 to send them packing. Egypt, they only have 1 game left, but they are potentially out of the 2018 World Cup, and they will depend on this fixture for their survival. We had an own goal by Ahmed Fatih. We had another goal by Denis Cheryshev. And we also saw Artem Zhuba hit the back of the net again. Russia has potentially booked their place into the round of 16 of the 2018 World Cup. Congratulations to the host, Russia. After those first 3 matches, what are the standings in Group A? Russia are on top with 6 points with a +8 goal difference. Uruguay second, 3 points with a +1 goal difference. Saudi Arabia third, 0 points. And Egypt already played 2 games, 0 points. They are already on their way home. What were my actual 2018 World Cup predictions for Group A? Well, I'm predicting that Uruguay will top the group and Russia to come in second. But so far, it seems like Russia might top the group. We will just have to wait and see. I predicted Egypt to come in third and Saudi Arabia bottom of the group. So as it stands, I think my 2 teams to make it to the round of 16 will actually do so. Guys, how are your predictions looking so far for Group A? Let me know in the comment section down below. But now I'm going to hit you with a brief World Cup profile for both teams. For Uruguay, they're also known as La Celeste, and this is their 13th World Cup appearance. Their best finish in a World Cup came in 1930 when they won the tournament, and also in 1950 where they also won it. This was also their first and second World Cup appearances. Pretty dope. Their last World Cup appearance came at the 2014 World Cup on the South American continent, and they made it to the round of 16. For Saudi Arabia, they are also known as the Green Falcons, and this is their 5th World Cup appearance. Their best finish came on debut in the 1994 World Cup hosted by the USA, where they made it to the round of 16. Their last World Cup appearance came 12 years ago at the 2006 World Cup hosted by Germany, when they made an early group stage exit, like they're gonna do again. I'm just kidding though. They are still in with a shout. As for head-to-head, Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia, what's their history? These teams have played each other on 2 occasions, with Saudi Arabia winning 1 and 1 game ending in a draw. Like, wow, you're surprised, right? Saudi Arabia will be hoping to replicate that 1 win, or even the draw. They will be happy with that draw. They last met each other in 2014 and the game ended 1-1. For those of you guys who didn't know, did you realize that the Saudi Arabian team had a little incident when the plane that they were traveling on to play this match versus Uruguay caught a fire? Like, they had a problem and the engine caught a fire. They had to do an emergency landing, but all the players are safe. Pray for the Saudi Arabian players. I hope that they are not psychologically affected for this match versus Uruguay. As for form at the 2018 World Cup, Uruguay, they won their first match. They looked okay. I'm not gonna say I'm totally impressed with Uruguay right now, but who knows, maybe the game versus Egypt was a warm-up match for them, because after all, they didn't play a lot of warm-up fixtures coming into the World Cup. So, you know, we might see some big things from Uruguay in this match. Fireworks maybe. For Saudi Arabia, they lost their first match of the 2018 World Cup, which was the opening match, and they must be embarrassed. It's hard to keep your head up after losing 5-0 versus Russia, a team that everyone underrates. So Saudi Arabia, they were probably expected to put on a better showing, but 5-0, not good at all. It would be very, very hard for them to pick themselves up after that big loss. Who are the players to watch for both teams? Well, for Uruguay, the first player I want to touch on is Edinson Cavani. He had a really, really good game versus Egypt, and he was very, very unlucky not to score. He even hit the post on one occasion, and he had a few big chances saved by the Egyptian goalkeeper as well. Look out for Edinson Cavani. In this game, I think he was actually better than Luis Suarez. And Suarez always seemed to steal the limelight away from him. So keep your eye on the PSG man, Edinson Cavani. Also, guys, look out for the aforementioned Luis Suarez, the Barcelona man, the former Liverpool man, the man who had a controversial World Cup in 2010 and also at the 2014 World Cup. Will we see him do something stupid this time around? He had a very, 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 very bad game versus Egypt where he had big chances and he messed them up, basically. Messed up. Suarez was not his usual self. Will he wake up in this match versus Saudi Arabia? I think he will. I think he will. He cannot go 2 games and miss all those opportunities. So look out for Suarez, guys. I think he would actually come good for this match. Also, Diego Godin and Jose Maria Jimenez, the Atletico Madrid duo, were really, really solid versus Egypt. So keep an eye on those two again, especially Godin. He led from the front. We even saw him make a few runs into the forward positions and everything. So Godin is a man to watch. Jimenez, he was the recipient of the only goal in the match versus Egypt. So it looks like he is very, very deadly on the set piece situations as well. Also, Christian Rodriguez, he looked really, really lively coming off the bench. So keep an eye on him. He will also be a player to watch. For Saudi Arabia, players to watch. Oh man, they weren't so impressive, you know. They weren't so impressive. But I saw a little bit of spark in Salem Al-Dassari. When he had the space, he looked to dribble. He even had a shot that went wide and everything. So he would be a man I would want to keep an eye on in this fixture versus Uruguay. Also, Fahad Al-Muwallad, he came off the bench. I think that Juan Antonio Pizzi needs to start him. Guys, also keep an eye on the goalkeeper, Al Mayouf. A lot of shots will be coming at him in this fixture. So we wouldn't have a choice but to actually watch that player. What changes should the head coaches make from the first fixtures? Like, what would I change for both teams? For Uruguay, their midfield looked kind of light. They weren't providing enough service for Luis Suarez and Cavani in the normal play. Maybe corners and free kicks, I'm not counting that, but normal play. We need service for Cavani and Suarez. The midfield was basically made up of the young quartet of De Azcárraga, Rodrigo Bentancur, Nández, and Vecino. I think one of these players needs to drop to the bench, and Christian Rodriguez needs to get a look in. He should start this match versus Saudi Arabia, in my opinion. I expect Oscar Tabarez to make 1 or 2 changes for this fixture. For Saudi Arabia, I expect Juan Antonio Pizzi to ring in household changes for this match versus Uruguay. I think Fahad Al-Muwallad should start this game. I don't think the changes will make any big difference, but he has to make change. He has to tinker with the lineup. He has to try something different from the first match, or else we might see another margin like that again. So guys, now for the sweetest part of the video, my predictions. Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia. I noticed that the match isn't being played on paper, but it's 11 versus 11 on the field. But look at Uruguay. Look at Saudi Arabia. Look what Uruguay did in the first match. Look what Saudi Arabia did in theirs. I know the World Cup has been springing up a lot of surprises, and the underdog teams have been prevailing, gaining draws and stuff like that. But I just can't see Saudi Arabia coming back from that 5-0 loss versus Russia. So I'm going to predict them to lose 4 goals. Yes, 4 goals to 0 versus Uruguay. This would put Uruguay up to 6 points and it would knock Saudi Arabia out of the 2018 World Cup. And the last fixture between themselves and Egypt will be a dead rubber. They can scrap it out for that last 3 points. So with this prediction, we will see Uruguay and Russia making it to the round of 16. And the fixture between both teams will determine who will top the group and who will be runners-up, which is very, very important. Question of the day, guys. Question of the day. You guys have seen quite a few Saudi Arabian players go on loan in La Liga and in the second division as well. But do you think that more players should join clubs outside of Saudi Arabia, even like second-tier football in England, Germany, Belgium, wherever you can play, just so that you could improve your game, get more exposure, get a different perspective on the game of football, instead of just playing in Saudi Arabia where, you know, like, come on, how can you develop by playing only in Saudi Arabia? Maybe that is what's crippling their football. So guys, let me know what you think about that question in the comment section down below. So guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Road to 10K is in full effect. Also, don't forget to smash the big thumbs up button, share the video with your friends. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad!